Good afternoon. It's time. It's time for NFL Bucky's Mill Day special edition. This is your host, Mike C. Of course, start of the show, as always and forever. It's Bucky. Say hi, Bucky. Bucky says hi. This is Bucky's and mine final mock draft of 2024. And we have one trade. We're going to do all 32 teams available. Like I said, with one trade. And we're not going to spend a lot of time because, again, this video will take way too long. But this is is it our best effort? We'll see. If you get a handful of picks correct, you're doing pretty good. The first one was pretty much guaranteed, but never say never. I'm going to include some of my better draft stories. And the first one that came to mind was when I mentioned, I think maybe last time before, was up into the draft. Larry Tunsil was, I can't remember if he was the first overall pick, but that's the gas mask year, and it just totally messed up everything. I think he was projected to be a first round pick overall, but I can't remember now. But that's still the weirdest thing one of the weirdest things I've ever seen in sports. And it just threw the entire draft up in the air. So stuff like that can happen. You never know. There's a couple days left. This is Tuesday before the draft, and there's plenty of time for it to get messed up. But hopefully nothing too serious will happen, but you never know, guys. All right. We have one trade, like I mentioned, and I will mention that in a few picks. I'm not going to go into great detail, like I said. We'll see what happens. The first overall pick, the Chicago Bears select quarterback from USC, Caleb Williams. That's probably a guaranteed pick right there. But again, you never know. The second overall pick, the Washington Commanders select quarterback. I went with Drake May from University of North Carolina. I'm not going to give weights and stuff like that because you can find that all out. It's just too much information. The third overall pick, the New England Patriots. So I've heard there's teams trying to trade up. Right as of now that I'm interested, but again, that could all change. I went with quarterback Jaden Daniels from LSU. Is there a trade here possible? The trade in the fourth pick might be possible. Not in my mock, but pretty soon. I went the Arizona Cardinals. Went with wide receiver Marvin Harrison from the Ohio State. And pretty much standard for most drafts, but I haven't really seen one with Malik Neighbors picked by them, but it's hard to know what they're thinking at this point. Number 5, I got the LA Chargers. I went with Malik Neighbors, wide receiver from LSU. 6th overall pick, the New York Football Giants. I went with wide receiver Rome Odunze from Washington. I've seen a lot of mock drafts. He's been selected there. But I think it's a very good selection, actually. Here's the trade, guys. The 7th overall pick, the Minnesota Vikings traded with the Tennessee Titans. And in my mock there, I had to force it through because I wouldn't accept it because it was too expensive, but I forced it through. Since I only did one round, didn't really matter didn't matter that much. So the Vikings ended up picking with their 7th overall pick, J.J. McCarthy, quarterback from Michigan. So the Vikings get J.J. McCarthy. The 8th overall selection, the Atlanta Falcons selected Dallas Turner, edge from Alabama. Number 9, the Bears again, their second first round pick, select Jared Verse, edge from Florida State. Someone I would like the Lions to trade up for. Again, it's possible. Maybe not to 9, but trade up, I'd be very happy with that. At number 10, the New York Football Jets, JETS, went with offensive tackle Joe Alt from Notre Dame. I think they're going to pick an offensive tackle just to protect Aaron Rodgers because without him, they have no chance. So, and they got the best one there, so that's a great selection for them. At number 11, I got the Tennessee Titans with the trade. Went with offensive tackle Olaf Ushana from Penn State. At 12, I got the Denver Broncos with new uniforms. They're pretty much like the old ones, to be honest with you. I went with quarterback Bo Nix from Oregon, which I think is a very good pick for them. Number 13, the Raiders. This is a bit of a surprise. I don't think this is really going to happen, but I just kind of, on a whim, I just did it. Quarterback Michael Penix Jr. from Washington. Left-handed quarterback, big arm. It seems like a Raiders quarterback, but, I really don't think that'll happen. But, in the second round, but I think that's where Penix is going to go. They might panic, all those quarterbacks gone, they'll need one, so there's a good chance it might happen. I don't think it will. At 14, the Saints select tight end Brock Bowers from Georgia. Tight ends are always, I do not like to pick tight ends in the first round. The Lions, have a history of doing that, and I do not like to pick a tight end in the first round. Any team. But he's a great talent. So, Saints are a tough team to pick for. Like, what do they really need? The 15th overall selection, Indianapolis Colts select the first cornerback in the draft with Quinyon Mitchell, quarterback from Toledo. Pretty much consensus number one pick, number one corner. It's pretty close. One or two. There's another one coming a little bit later. What I think is number one. The 16th overall pick, the Seattle Seahawks select cornerback Terrion Arnold, who I think is the first one, from Bama. He's a little smaller, a little thinner, but it's a great speed, and he's a great quarterback. So, cornerback. At number 17, the Jaguars select edge Leatu Latu from UCLA. Very, very talented edge. Wouldn't mind the Lions getting him, that trade up for him, of course. He's got the neck issue, but so far I haven't heard anything bad about that. So the Seahawks got a great selection there. Or excuse me, the Jaguars. At 18, the Bengals select offensive tackle Talise Fuaga from Oregon State. Bengals have to, protect Burrows, so they got no chance. So, there's talk of being a wide receiver, but no, they got to protect him. You have a, high graded quarterback. You got to keep him upright. Same with Rodgers on the Jets, and the Bengals are one of those teams. The Chargers, another one. You have to protect them. Okay, another story. Many years ago, I taped it on VHS. That's how long ago that was. And I started watching at like 12 o'clock. I don't remember the circumstances why I taped it. I don't remember. It was a long time ago. So I started watching at 12 o'clock and I fell asleep a couple hours later. And I had to watch it again because I pretty much missed the entire draft because I'd fallen asleep. If I remember right, that was the year the Lions drafted Benny Blades. I remember that. That's how long ago that was. The 19th overall selection, the Rams selected defensive lineman Byron Murphy from Texas. They lost Aaron Donald. It's not going to replace him, but they need somebody to at least fill in for him. And they got a very, very good defensive tackle. Number 20, the Pittsburgh Steelers select cornerback Cooper DeJean from Iowa. They got the black in their uniforms. It was a good selection. They need help in the secondary. Cooper DeJean, better safety or at least a nickel corner. Not really on the edge. He can play there, but I don't think he's suited for that. Safety is a great pick for him, and I think it's a very, very good pick for the Steelers. Number 21, the Dolphins select offensive tackle Trey Fatano from Washington. Washington had a lot of good players, which is why they played in the championship game. Dolphins need offensive line help. I think that's a very good pick for them. Another story, for I believe it was 2 years in a row, my former girlfriend and I went to a casino on Thursday, and or was it Friday? I can't remember if it was Friday back then. Can't remember. Probably Friday. And after 2 years in a row, we did that, and that was when the Lions drafted. I forgot their names. 2 defensive tackles. I can't remember. I'll put it in the description. But that was exciting. That was very exciting. We had a great time. And she would, stay in the casino and gamble, and I watched the entire draft and met her later on. So that was a lot of fun. That's a great memory of the draft. At number 22, the Philadelphia Eagles, Fly Eagles Fly. Cornerback Nate Wiggins from Clemson. Very, very good cornerback. Needs to put on a little weight, but he's very fast. And again, I wouldn't mind the Lions, drafting him. Could he be there at 29? Possibly. Probably have to move up a little bit for him, but I'd be very happy with Nate Wiggins. At 23, with the second Vikings traded pick, they select wide receiver Brian Thomas. I can't remember my own writing, from LSU. Very good receiver. I don't say super fast, but he's obviously fast. So the Titans get some great help, and Titans are on their way back up. At 24, the Dallas Cowboys select offensive tackle J.C. Latham from Bama. Cowboys, I won't say tend to pick offensive line, but they always seem to have a good offensive line, and Cowboys are one of those teams that could pick anybody, to be honest with you. But that's who I picked for them. 25, the Green Bay Packers select offensive tackle Amarius Mims from Georgia. Packers need offensive line help, again, to protect Jordan Love. And there's not a lot of film on him because he was injured. When he was healthy, he's a huge man and a very good offensive tackle, and great pick for the Packers. 26, Tampa Bay Bucks select wide receiver Donnie Mitchell from Texas. The wide receiver is not getting younger, as most of us aren't, and kind of a best player available, I thought, but a very good selection for Tampa. 27, the Cardinals select defensive tackle Jerzon Newton from Illinois, or Johnny Newton, but I go Jerzon's fine. Cardinals are a tough team to pick for. They got quite a few holes, and they're kind of an unorthodox team, so they're very difficult to pick for, but I like that pick for them. 28, the Buffalo Bills select wide receiver Ladd McConkey from Georgia. Basically, it was, there weren't a lot of wide receivers left. It's a very, very deep wide receiver draft. But the Bills will select a wide receiver. At 29, mine, Bucky's Detroit Lions select cornerback Kool-Aid McKinstry from Bama. I've seen a lot of mocks from them. I think the Vegas odds have him picking Kool-Aid. I would be ecstatic if they pick him. If he's there and they don't pick him, I'll be very upset. But I've been disappointed before on draft days. Bucky knows that. They could pick edge. They could pick defensive tackle / edge Robinson. They could pick Chop Robinson, who I don't have in the first round. But I think Kool-Aid would be their best overall pick. I'd be very happy. And then you can get an edge in the second round. Then an offensive guard or tackle, whatever, in the third round. Like one of my mocks I had the other day. But I went with Kool-Aid, and I didn't purposely steer towards that direction, but I love Kool-Aid. I really want him on my team. Number 30, I've got the Baltimore Ravens selecting interior offensive lineman Graham Barton from Duke. The reports that the Lions are interested in him. He can play center. He can play guard. I'm not sure about tackle, but he's interior. But he's a very, very good interior offensive lineman. And if the Lions looking forward in the future, one of the things they were talking about, in my opinion, you don't really draft for linemen for the future. You want guys to start now. You can get depth later on. That's my opinion. At number, I got to turn my book here. Number 31, the San Francisco 49ers select Jackson Powers Johnson, interior offensive lineman from Oregon. Lions are interested in him. Very versatile, and Lions like that. A lot of teams like that. But he's one of my favorite, kind of a sleeper pick, but I really like him. I think he's, I hope he does well. And the last pick of the mock draft, number 32, the Kansas City Chiefs select Xavier Worthy, wide receiver from Texas. I believe he ran the fastest 40-yard time in the combine. But the Chiefs need a wide receiver and a fast one, and he's not the biggest guy in the world, but we'll see what happens with him. So that's my mock draft, guys. I think it's a very good one. I've done a few. I've done a lot of Lions, 3-rounders. I've done Lions 7-rounders. But I'm ready for the draft. Enough mocks, and there's still a couple days left. Other stories they have in the mock drafts. Well, so this year, Carl and I are going to watch it, and I've got my shrimp, like I mentioned. I got party mix to make tomorrow, and I got a lot of good stories. I've been watching the programs of previous drafts on NFL Network. Just a lot of good memories. And I'm not going to keep them, but I just want to watch them. But mock draft, or the actual draft, is one of my favorite times of the year. And a lot of good memories. I've been disappointed a few times. Who hasn't? But I've also been very ecstatic. Lions drafted Barry. That was incredible. Calvin. That was incredible. Matthew Stafford. Incredible. So there's been some, very, very good picks. Very disappointing picks. That's the risk and gamble you take for mock drafts. Or I keep saying mock, for the actual drafts. So I hope you like this. If you want to comment, that's fine. If you want to join, that's fine. Probably won't, but it's fine either way. So I enjoy doing it. Bucky enjoyed doing it with me. And so have fun watching the draft. And if you watch all 3 days, that's fine. And I can't wait to see the results and the criticisms and all the do they do good, they do bad. It's too early to tell. Like the Lions draft last year, you didn't really know it turned out till after they started the season. So it's a little bit early, but you have to do it. But don't give up hope. So all right, take care, enjoy the draft, and I'll see you next Monday with the results. I'll give you all the players the Lions drafted, and maybe even some of the undrafted players that they always sign. So bye now.